Hey true believers, I recently learned about anxiety bookshelves for your desk, and I thought to myself, hey, I have anxiety, I should get one. But why buy one when I can make my own with free time that I don't have, supplies that will cost me more than just buying it in the first place, and in all likelihood, end up with an inferior product with tiny errors that will go unnoticed by others but bother me forever? It sounds like fun. So here's the plan. A Spider-Man diorama set in a Spider-Man themed comic book shop where all the comics can spill off the shelf and make a mess across the floor while he's in battle. This wicked cool model comes from Wicked 3D, the best of the best when it comes to Marvel-themed 3D prints. Now, I'm no expert at painting, or let's be brutally honest, I'm not an expert at most of the things you're going to see in this video. But I did watch a lot of grounded effect videos, and he's painted a lot of Spider-Man, and I tried to emulate the techniques that he uses. I used green stuff to take care of some of the holes in the model. I airbrushed on dark blue and dark red underneath for shadows. Airbrushed on gradually warmer shades of both of those colors on the top side. This happens to be a Tom Holland Spider-Man, and in Far From Home, this suit is darker, it's metallic, it's shiny, but that kind of red I was worried would be too dark for the diorama I had in mind, and thinking about the lighting, I eventually switched to a more orange red, like the PlayStation Spidey. Now the trick to doing the little stuff like the gold bands, his eyes, is to find yourself in an endless loop of painting, making mistakes, painting over those mistakes while making new mistakes, and so on. You repeat that for a while until you get bored. And most importantly, you edit out those parts of the video and only show the clips where you're not making mistakes and you're at your most impressive. Later, a black wash helped reveal all the webbing details of the suit. Wicked 3D excels at those little details and textures like this, and it looks so good by the time it's done. The robotic arms are the last thing I added because I wasn't convinced I wanted them in the first place, and I wasn't sure how big the whole diorama was going to be yet. They ultimately ended up filling the empty space in the perfect way. As for the comics, I printed off the first 250 Amazing Spider-Man comic book covers on a scale that seemed appropriate. My original process was bad, very bad, and I really shouldn't even be showing it to you, but I wanted you to appreciate a little bit of the time that went into it. Nothing I could do could salvage the result, and when all the comics were done, I was just very unhappy with them. Sunk cost fallacy be damned, I started over, and actually learned from those mistakes I made. First was doing head cleaning on my printer so that it actually printed things with the right color and definition, so the images looked good. I printed them out in adjacent columns this time around so that the front and backs of a single comic showed two covers. With the help of an AI image generator, I made black and white stock superhero images, just generic ones to fill the space of the interiors, so that when these comic books are opened up, if they fall open, it looks like there's a comic inside. These are all glued together with extra pages to produce some thickness, cut carefully to size, and added to a bookshelf until it was full. Now I said 250 before, but I was including two covers on every one comic book now, and with this better methodology, printing a lot more of them. With my new and improved techniques, I printed over 600 Amazing Spider-Man comics in total. And it's so cool to go through them and be like, this is the first appearance of the Green Goblin. Here's where he met Doc Ock. Here's where he said Spider-Man no more and got married to MJ. And here's when he met Barack Obama. Because that happened. With the hardest parts done, it was time for some little details. I wanted a collection of things that would belong in a comic book shop and be amusing to see fall over. Like these cardboard cutout posters of other Avengers. I spent more time than you might think on this 3D printed trash can. The trash bags are actually filled with garbage, it's filled with styrofoam. And by cutting up a 3D sticker of Spidey, I had myself a costume hanging over the side, trying to match that iconic shot. You know the one. I rolled up a bunch of posters using newspaper clippings, a straw, and some glue and scissors. They all went in a Spider-Verse themed bin, again all kept loose so that they can topple over as well. I glued magnets to the back wall before putting in the display case, and this was done to keep it locked in place, but also leave it removable in case I want to change anything in the future. The bookshelf was glued down, surrounded by every Spidey movie poster so far, and a handful of other posters that I thought were some nice Easter eggs to other geeky things that I enjoy. All these elements done, I webbed them into place, and let's take a look at the result. One thing you might notice is that Spidey himself isn't glued down. 2 reasons why. First, to make sure I can reload the comics on the bookshelf behind him without him standing in the way, and second, for future customizations. I've got all these other Spider-Man themed prints already made, and plans for future ones from his villains gallery. So while this is done for now, this project can continue to evolve over time, in all sorts of amazing, spectacular, ultimate, and superior ways. If you've enjoyed this video and want to be part of this friendly neighborhood, consider subscribing. I don't get around to posting content now as much as I used to because, and I'm gesturing broadly at everything here, life, but I plan to keep making more geeky things, and every so often I might even remember to press record and film it. So, stay tuned for more, true believers. I'll see you next time.